Disclaimer, I do not own any rights to any content, videos, research, music, unless it is of my own creation. Everything is for entertainment and commentary purposes. All information is of my own opinion or are alleged until factual evidence has been presented. Cue the music. Hey, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of All Things CC. Here is my take. I hope everybody has had a wonderful hump day, also known as Valentine's Day. I hope all the couples are enjoying each other's time today. For all of you single people out there, such as myself, happy Valentine's Day to you. And I hope you made the best of it. Y'all, I don't even know where to begin. I do not even know where to begin. This situation with Monique and her son just got a little worse. And for the life of me, I don't understand why Monique would stoop this low. Why Monique won't just call her son. Why Monique need to feel like she has to post things that should be irrelevant to the public. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, I am talking about Monique after semi-responding to a piece of the TikTok that her son made. After her and Sydney responded, she then went ahead and posted text messages back and forth between him and her. Now, I'm not even going to post the conversation because I feel like, that's private. That's between mother and son. I'm going to leave that be. It was from 2 or 3 years ago. And it really wasn't nothing that I can gather that proved him wrong. Like, it was, to me, it just felt like, a casual back and forth conversation between mother and child. And on her post, she said something in reference to, like, my sweet babies. Does this sound like a mother who doesn't want to have a relationship with her son or who doesn't love her son? So she's putting these posts out there from years ago, trying to validate. She's trying to validate loving her child or wanting a relationship with her child, which was really, really fake. Fake, disgusting, wrong, childish, petty, and not needed. It was not needed. But what I will say, at the end of the text messages, it's a long post that was written on her phone by her husband to her son. Y'all, when I read that, when I tell y'all, I instantly got so heated, because why are you inserting yourself between a mother and a child, talking about all this stuff that y'all did for him, material wise, money wise, and then again telling him about how he wanted to get with him to talk to him about how to talk to women and shit like that. Like, dude, if your wife literally said in y'all first response to him, he cannot claim you as his son because you're like an uncle. Therefore, that man should have never responded on your phone, Mo, trying to check this child that he is not trying to claim as his stepson. He has a father for that. The more and more that they get on Beyonce's internet, the more and more I start to see them in a different light. And I'm not a person that's too prideful to say, you know what, I did look at them this way, but now I am taking off my blinders and putting on new pairs of glasses so I can see things a little bit different. And I have. And I'm not liking what I'm seeing from them too. In that response they gave, Shalon, they spoke more about the people in the industry than they did her son. And I found that to be really fucked up. Fucked up, but good at the same time. Because I was really hoping that Monique would have made the conscious decision to just put her fucking big girl panties on and say, I am the mother and I need to call him and talk behind closed doors. No, not at all. Not Monique. I believe that her husband convinced her to post those messages. Because Monique, why would you want to try to dim down his experience, his truth, by trying to expose text messages between you two? And another thing, and I had to sit and I had to realize what was said. So I end up going back to look at their response a second time, listen to their response a second time. And when he mentioned Shalon's mental illness, in that moment, that's when Monique should have told him, we're not going to do that. That is something personal. That is beyond personal. That's more personal than what we got going on, to expose this young man's mental health and try to make it seem like, oh, he has a mental illness, so pretty much what he's saying really don't matter. He ain't right in the head. Y'all trying to diminish what the fuck your son was saying about you, and that's tacky, distasteful, and you should be ashamed of yourself. You should be ashamed of yourself, Mo. When are you ever going to have a backbone when it comes to this child of yours? The one that you clearly did not want. The one that you clearly stated that you had no interest in. When are you going to take up accountability and get a fucking backbone and really just nip this shit in the bud? So, now that those text messages are out in the world, her son got a hold to him. And now he has responded again. Now I will play his video. I will play his video. And I did look at it, but I'm going to play it because I want y'all to hear what he had to say. And then I'm going to come back and I'm going to give my commentary on what he has said. All I'm going to say right now is he was very calm in the first TikTok video. He's a little bit more, vocal and saying certain things in this video. Not too much of a disrespect, but it was kind of some, in my opinion, just a little bit of disrespect. But y'all go ahead, y'all check out this video of him giving his response, and then I'm gonna come back with my commentary. This shit is getting ridiculous, and Monique need to get a handle on this shit for real.
Alright, so I'm just gonna get straight to it. Hi, I'm Shalon. So I find it unique that my video was in response to my mother and not her husband, but yet he still had the most to say, which isn't uncommon. I also find it unfortunate that my mother does not seem to speak on her own. The only two worlds that I know where daddy is used is for children speaking with their fathers and women acknowledging their pimps. Her husband starts off by literally doing the very thing that I said that they would do, which honestly kind of made me feel as though their response was ironic because they validate my original video. Either A, she has some newfound moment of clarity, or B, she retreats back to daddy. In her retreat back to him, though, he does not acknowledge what I did say, but instead begins to create a new narrative of things that I did not say, which negates the effects of a response video. The two of you essentially created a new video rather than actually respond to what was actually said. You also brought up my father. My father, though, is not doing interviews talking about me. In quick regards to the three sons comment, under the context in which your husband was speaking, by your rationale, Ma, he should have easily had no problem saying 4 sons, especially since you say he knew me before I knew me. The two of you can sometimes come off as seekers of weak levels of empathy from others while at the same time sidestepping any accountability that one may need to take. To attempt to address what I said to another man while also trying to make your wife victim number 1 has nothing to do with you. My father did not need you to speak for him. You're her daddy, not his. My mother has been speaking on our relationship for years, so to imply that only one side of a story was told when there are several articles and interviews throughout the internet discussing my strained relationship with her, filled with quotes from your wife speaking directly about me, while also providing vague context and downplaying the impact of an uninterested mother. I am 33 years old and have had ample opportunity to go to the media and tell some BS story for a BS amount of money, but instead I am on TikTok expressing my feelings for free. If the two of them were paying attention, I literally explained in my first video why I am responding using TikTok. And I should not have to repeat myself. My mother also states there are some people that are saying, oh, you should be ashamed of your mothering skills. You should be ashamed of yourself. This is what I say. Let's let it play out. Because the same ones that were saying, oh, I was crazy, I was deranged, we watched it play out. So just like with my son, we're going to watch this play out. First of all, who the hell is we if it ain't you and I reconciling our relationship? Second of all, it's power in a word. Nobody is playing, but I can understand why you would use that word specifically. As you stated in the Club Shay Shay interview, you had the mentality of a 15-year-old child. You required a man to raise you, and you were acting like a little girl. These are your words. It doesn't matter what context I have them in. This is how you thought of yourself as a grown adult who was someone's mother. Last time I checked, Monique fans, a 15-year-old grown adult who acts like a child but is in search of their daddy, they don't typically make efficient parents. But hey, I could be wrong. On a more serious note, to sit there and allow your daddy to address my mental health in a weak attempt to pass my response off as a moment is disturbing and insulting to those of us who do have mental health issues. The way I presented myself was no different than my mother and her daddy presented themselves when addressing DL Hughley. And her precious sweet babies ate it up. DL is wrong because he's so loud. Mo and daddy are right because they're so calm. But I, for some reason, don't get the same energy. To simply try to call me crazy is dismissive and cowardice. Attacking somebody's mental status is a clear sign that you have zero to stand on. Furthermore, what kind of person still has a text message from their wife's son that is over 2 years old still in their phone saved just for the purpose of re-showing it to him? What I specifically remember about that message is that at the end of it, you said something along the lines of, if you don't respond, I understand. I could care less about what your message was about, but for you to say in the message, if you don't respond, I understand, why was it then that when you and I did speak, after that message was sent, the first question out of your mouth is, hey man, how come you didn't respond to my text message? I found that to be very unique, but I did not need an explanation on how to speak to women or how to listen to women. That was not what that situation was about. My mother showed me how conceited she is in that situation that you were referring to. For a woman to villainize the actions of her son for being a man and a father to his new family simply because she had not heard from him in 2 days, as though her phone was broken and she could not check on me. Because last time I checked, I was a new parent. I didn't get a new house. I didn't go on vacation. I didn't just get a new game system. I had a baby. And in those 2 days that you did not hear from me, I was handling my business as a man and a father. But I'll assume your phone and the phones of those around you were all broken, which I wanted to believe was the reason why you did not respond to a message from your son expressing his concern over some bumps that your grandchild had on her back. You would later make it your business to tell me that you got the message and chose not to respond because her other grandmother is a nurse. Damn the fact that she is also your blood. And shout out to Nana. My baby girl loves her some Nana. The statement about money and then stating, don't let nobody introduce me to you, is not a competent statement to make because it wasn't a complete sentence, nor did the two things correlate with each other. And when did you have the time to introduce yourself to a son that you weren't interested in and didn't do the best job you could do? I'm starting to think that you're not hearing yourself. To address money, you gave me $10,000 for a down payment on a car. Yes, thank you again. Thank you. My girlfriend and I were already prepared to put our money together and get a car. You and your husband called us one day and stated that y'all were going to give us $5,000 for a down payment. We said, okay. You then called us back a day or two later and stated that you would be giving us $10,000 for a down payment on the car. You and him made the conscious choice to give us that money. We did not ask you for anything, but this is an example of a rich person doing something for you. And because this is, an example of a rich person doing something for you because they want to do it for you, but because it doesn't have the desired effect that they want it to have, you are inconsiderate and ungrateful. Well, let's take it a step further. I eventually would uncover that my mother had left me a UTMA worth $45,000. You never brought that account to my attention. You claim it was because you forgot that you even set it up in the first place, which validates my original point. Who forgets that they invested $45,000 into a child that at that time is the only child? When I was homeless, and I called you to help me figure out how to access the account, you said, Shalon, I don't even know what you're talking about, and if I did, why do you think I would help you? After finding out from the Georgia Department of Revenue that they had been sending me mail to 3 separate Georgia addresses, all of which I lived at with you at some point or another. For the life of me, I can't grasp how those letters managed to slip by so many people at 3 different locations. I did, however, eventually get access to the money and the brokerage account that you had set up for me with Morgan Stanley. To be fair, what you put together for me was amazing, especially had I let it sit for a year or two, which made it bittersweet that you wouldn't have wanted to help or even educate me on how to manage what I had. My blowing through that money is all on me, and I have to take my accountability for that, and it's a lesson learned. Sidney stated that the last time that him and I spoke, I wanted to call him Dad. The actual truth is that I wanted to call him Pop. Calling you Uncle Sidney, but my mother calls you Daddy, and the boys call you Daddy. It was getting a little awkward. And yes, for a very short time, I did feel that way about you, but the more things change, the more they stay the same. Oh, Black Jesus. I do just want to really quickly give a really, really big thank you to the support that I've received throughout this. I didn't think that was something that was going to happen. I didn't make that video to have a tennis match with my mother. I do not plan on making any more videos. This is it. I've said what I wanted to say. To me, if you're not going to acknowledge, you've already shown me that you don't care enough to acknowledge what I did say. So I definitely don't have the expectation that you're going to acknowledge now what I'm saying. So it is what it is. But once again, I want to say thank you again, man. That day before I posted that original video, I went to sleep with 25 followers that I probably could name all. I could probably name all 25 of those people. I think I have over like 12,000 followers now. That's really cool, man. I really appreciate that. But I just can't say thank you enough. I know I sound like a broken record, but I do appreciate the love. And best of luck to my mother and Sydney. And I hope that the Cat Williams tour is incredible. I really, really do. But when it comes to me, I am going to enjoy being a dad and being a man and just going through life, man. I don't want to be famous or notorious for being someone's neglected kid. I don't want that to be my story. And I only said what I said just to provide context, not to become anything. But y'all be safe, man. Peace.
Okay, you guys, so y'all heard what Shalon had to say in response to the text messages that his mother and or daddy put out to the world to see. And when I tell y'all, like, I can tell that in some parts of this video, his voice was crackling as if he really wanted to cry. Cause I felt it. He felt like he really wanted to start crying at certain points, because he probably feel like he don't understand why his mother is the way that she is with him. Like, whew. Okay, so let me just see if I can will it in and talk about some of the things that he mentioned. The very first thing that he mentioned when he spoke about the reason why when Sydney said that he wanted to call him daddy, he said, "Nah, I wanted to call you pops, because me calling you uncle, my mama calling you daddy, and your sons are calling you daddy, that's a little fucking weird." Only two reasons why people call a man daddy. One is for the kids, and the other one's for a woman to her pimp. And when he said that, I said, oh my God. Oh my God. This is about to get ugly. This is about to get ugly. Because when you look past the surface, it does seem like he has a handle on her. Hence why when they are on camera, he does majority of the fucking talking. And when he stops, he might nudge her or whatever, and then she speaks. Then she stops, and then he keeps going, but he holds the conversations. She don't speak when he's around. And that's very telling. Now, I ain't gonna say that he a pimp or nothing like that, but y'all get what I'm saying. And he also touched on the fact that when Monique was on Shay Shay, Club Shay Shay, and she said that she was a grown woman with a 15-year-old mentality, and when she got with Sydney, he raised her. He helped grow her up to be the woman that she is today. If that don't sound like some damn grooming, I don't know what it is. Even though she grown, but she said she was in the 15-year-old mentality. He seen that you weren't too bright, Monique. And he seen what you've been going through, and he took advantage of that. He took advantage of that. Because he like, shit, all I gotta do is just show you that I really, really love you. And I got your back. And you gonna be 10 toes down with me? I can do that, because you ain't getting the love from nobody else. You're not getting the love from your father. You weren't getting the love from your brothers. I'm sorry. Unconditional love from your brothers. You weren't getting that from the male figures in your family. So here this man that you say you known for a long ass time, now he comes into play. And this is the same man that your son calls uncle, because he's very good friends with his father that you used to be married to. That is crazy. But the fact that your son recognizes, and he's calling you out on things, and he even said he don't even think that you even listen to what you be saying sometimes, because that whole segment about he can't claim you as his son and all this and all that is just weird. That was weird. And again, I realized that Monique has had trauma. Hence why she really cannot connect with her son, because she cannot connect with her father and or her parent or her mother. Rest her soul, I believe she has transitioned. But so Monique didn't know how, and I get it. But over the course of time, there was just nothing in you that said, you know what, I gotta make this right with my son. I gotta make this right with my son. You done had 3 marriages, which is also a sign to me that typically females who have been traumatized as little girls, they are seeking validation from a man. I know a few females like that, seeking validation from these men because you can't get it from your father, who's supposed to love you. He's supposed to be the first man that you love and shows you how a man is supposed to treat you. Monique is still in that 15-year-old mentality, and can't nobody tell her otherwise. That man, in her words, raised me. Listen, if he raised you, then he should be raising you to be there for your son. It ain't gotta be money wise or material wise. Like, he should be helping you to mend that relationship. Not get involved, but give you advice on how to mend your relationship, or even get with his father, since y'all all so cool still, quote unquote, and see how you can get with your son and just probably have a sit down amongst you, his father, and him, and just have a intimate family moment, because y'all still family at the end of the day. Sydney ain't got to fucking be there. If y'all cool and good friends with Shalon's father, as y'all say, it shouldn't be no reason why y'all all can't get together and hash this shit out. But it's just a detachment for me. It's the detachment for me. And I have to side-eye Sydney as well. Because when you marry a mother with children, you marry a whole fucking package. And it just seems like you are always ready to combat or have something to say in regards to everything. Like, for me, it gives like, hell, he probably done fucking told Monique it's either your son or me. The way she going so hard for him and not her son, I wouldn't put it past him. I wouldn't put it past him, because there are men out there that will tell a woman to choose between me and your child. And she chose her man over her child. And that's crazy. Now, I'm not saying that's true, y'all, so don't be coming at me in the comments. I'm just saying it just gives off that vibe. Because there is no way that this dynamic should be this toxic. It's toxic. And now, when I had hope that things would, start to mend itself, oh, it ain't gonna happen now. It's not gonna happen now. Cause Shalon done said that that Sydney is your pimp. Oh man, that ain't funny, but he took it there. He took it there. And let me just speak on this. I know I spoke on it in my last video, episode, whatever. But I'm going to speak on it again. Because now that Shalon has came out with this second response, responding to the fact that they pretty much validated everything he said in his first response, and y'all really just trying to downplay everything that he was saying. But this is what I want to say. Why is it such a bad thing that her son is coming out speaking about his experience with his mother? I seen comments where it says you should never speak out against your mother. That's your mother. You only get one mother, and woo woo woo. I get it. But how do you expect for this young man to cope with his feelings, cope with the lack of a mother, cope with reading the words of his mother that she was not interested in being his mother? How do you expect for this man to heal if he doesn't speak? It's not going to go away as long as he keeps quiet. And the fact that she's not willing to pick up the phone and reach out to him and say, let's not do this on social media. She been doing this shit on social media, breaking him up directly, indirectly for a long time. Why is it okay for her to do it, but not him? I don't think that's fair for y'all to be coming at him like this. Now, I could see if he was constantly going back and forth with her for as long as she has been on social media talking about the lack thereof of their relationship. I get it. Because then you could be like, oh, he's just doing this clout chasing. He's just doing this for the fame. He's just doing this to get followers, to get sympathy, whatever the case may be. No. We have never heard of this man until that first response. Now this is his second response. He said he only had 25 followers on TikTok. And after that first response, his following went up. He even said it himself. If he really wanted to speak on this and really get paid for this and really sell his story, he could have. But he chose to be in the background trying to get himself together as a man and raising his child, being the best dad that he can be. He could have easily said, no, I'm not going to speak on anything pertaining to my mother unless this platform calls me or this platform calls me and I can get paid for telling my story. Just because he thanked everybody at the end of this video for his support and thanking everybody for, following him and everything like that, that does not mean that he trying to do this to get exposure for monetary gain. Like, some of y'all be weird to me, like. But before I go though, I do want to touch on the piece where he talked about when he found out that she had, I forgot what you call it, but I'm gonna just say like I don't want to say insurance policy, but y'all know what I'm talking about because y'all just seen the video. But it was $46,000 in there, I believe, that she had set up for him. And he realized and found out that it was set up, but she acted like she didn't know what he was talking about. And then to say, even if I did, why you think I would help you? What? Why wouldn't you want to help your child if you you put money aside for them? Like, why wouldn't you help them to, better manage the money or what have you? And then He's like, who sets money aside for a child and then say they don't know what I'm talking about? As if you wasn't trying to give me the money or, let me know that I had money. So he said he found out and he got the money. And of course, a person who never really had that much money to themselves is going to spend it recklessly or whatever. Majority of people do. And he took accountability for that. That's my fuck up. I did that. I got to sit in that. But Monique, for you to act like you didn't know what he was talking about, like, see, that shit right there, like, you was trying to make him sound like he was crazy. Like, he was making up some shit. Tell him you don't know what he was talking about. Like, either you was trying to make him look like a fool, or you was just saying, or you was pretty much saying, in your mind, I know what you're talking about, but you're never going to get that money because I'm not going to tell you. So whenever she had some hard times, she was going to go and get that money. That's what that was about. She was going to get that money, hoping that he was never going to figure out that he had money. That's what that was. And that's crazy. That's crazy. So, y'all, I like the fact that he said that after this response, he doesn't have a desire to respond to anything else that they put out. And I hope he's staying true to that. Because this really should not be on social media. It really should not. And as far as Monique, the fact that you exposed text messages thinking that that was going to be like a oh wow moment, or I don't know what you thought you was going to get out of that, but the fact that you put those text messages out there just lets me know that you're willing to go back and forth with your son on social media, which is proving his point. You do not have the desire to call him behind closed door to try to figure this shit out. You like the attention. You are an attention seeker. At the end of the day, both of them need to heal. Because if they don't, it's going to get worse. And I pray to God that one day that both of them can reconcile, because when one or the other leave this earth, that's it. That's it. And honestly, and sad to say, if her son was to pass away today, I doubt if she even shed a tear. Why? Because she doesn't have a connection with that boy. Now, I'm not trying to be mean when I say this, but y'all know the saying, I watch dogs give birth, but don't make it a mother. That's the kind of vibe I get. Like, she's there for the material things and the money, but she's not there to give the emotional support and things of that nature. The shit that really, really matters. She has no connection with this young man. So I doubt that she even shed a tear. But if she end up passing away, that boy is going to shed some tears, because all he ever wanted is to love his mother and get that hug from her and just be able to say, you know what? I took my mother out for Mother's Day. I remember this day. I remember that day. I remember when my mama threw me birthday parties. Like, it's going to hit him whenever she leaves before it hit her whenever he leaves. And that's not cool. Like, they really need to figure this out. It should not be on social media no more after this. Monique, don't you bring your ass on social media to say anything else about what's going on between you and your son. So, y'all, I had to get on here and talk about this. because I just knew that it wasn't going to get any deeper. I just knew that wasn't nothing else was going to pop off. I just hate it. I hate it. I don't like this. I don't like this. Because now it seems like Monique is starting to be more known for the drama than her actually getting out here working and doing what she do. Like, drama is following her, and I'm starting to see that now, and it's not cool. It's not cool, and it's not cool. But y'all, I'm gonna end this right here. As always, y'all let me know what y'all think in the comment section. Please be respectful of the comments, because I done seen a few comments and it's like, you know what, I'm gonna let it roll off my shoulder, because I'm trying to be good. I'm trying to hone in and hold tight to my language when trying to respond to people. So yeah, just let me know your thoughts in the comment section. If you are new subscribers, thank you so much. I will be following those who follow me, and I will support your channel. Thank you for those who are subscribers. I really, really appreciate it. And yeah, y'all just let me know what y'all think. This is getting crazy. Again, happy Valentine's Day to everybody. And I'm gonna end right here, and I will chat up with you guys on the next episode. Later.